All right, so the last unit for the semester final was Unit 3, the one we just finished up. So some things you're going to need to know for this unit is you're going to still need to know how to classify polynomials by the degree and the number of terms, okay? And then also you're going to need to know that little blue chart. It's not going anywhere. You need to know about end behaviors, so make sure you have that memorized. Okay, so use the graph at the right to answer the following questions. A, list their factors and their multiplicities. So on this one, this graph is crossing the x-axis 3 times, right? So those are going to be the numbers. So we have x equals, it looks like -4 is the first one, -2, and then +2. Okay, so are there any multiplicities, or are there any other multiplicities other than 1? The answer is no, because none of those intercepts, the line always goes through the intercepts. They don't bounce at that point. So the multiplicity is 1 for all 3 of these. Okay, now so using those factors, write a polynomial function in standard form that represents the graph. So if you have -4 of an answer as an answer, what would it look like in factored form? It would be x plus 4. And then -2 would be x plus 2. And then +2 would be that. All right, so we're going to distribute this all out. I'm going to actually distribute the second 2 first. X squared minus 2x plus 2x minus 4. And the reason I did it is because I knew that was going to end up to be a binomial, because those are conjugates. Okay, now distribute this. So I have x cubed minus 4x plus 4x squared minus 16. Okay, is that my answer? And the answer is no. For 1, it is not in standard form. So x cubed plus 4x squared minus 4x minus 16, because that's what the directions asked. And then let's also get fancy and throw an f of x or y out front, whatever you want to do. Okay, let's do another one. List their factors and multiplicities again. So this one looks like it has 3 as well. But this time at 0, it bounces. So that means it's going to hit at -2 and +2. And those multiplicity, or the multiplicity for those two is 1. And then also 0, and that multiplicity is 2. And I know that because it bounces. It doesn't go all the way through 0. Okay, so now let's write this. If I have 2 zeros, that would be x squared out front. And then -2 would be x plus 2. And then x minus 2. Okay, distribute that out. You end up with x squared minus 4. I know that because I did it on the last one. Okay, and then you need to distribute that x squared in. So we have x to the 4th minus 4x squared. And then a y equals. And that's your answer. All right, everybody's favorite, long division. So let's get this set up. So there are no skips in this, so that's good news. So I have 35x to the 3rd minus 27x squared plus 27x minus 48. And I'm dividing by 5x minus 6. Okay, remember you do 5x times what gives you 35x squared, or x cubed. That's going to be 7x to the 2nd power, so that goes in this column. The x squared column, multiply it back. So I have 35x cubed, 7x squared times -6 would be -42x squared. All right, now let's subtract. Remember, you're doing minus these two. Okay, so 35x cubed minus 35x cubed goes away. -27x squared minus -42x squared ends up with +15x squared. Drop down your next term. All right, so now 5x times what gives you 15x squared? Well, that's a 5x, so it's going to go in my x column. Multiply it back. Ooh, it's not 5x, 3x. 3x, multiply it back, so 15x squared minus 18x. Okay, let's go ahead and subtract it. So we end up with negative 18, so that'd be plus 18x, so 35x minus 48. And then the last one, 5x times what gives you 7x, or 35x, getting tired, is 7. Multiply it back, you have 35x minus 42. Subtract them, and you end up with, what would that be? Because it's plus positive, so negative 6. So there's a couple different ways to write it. One of them is plus negative 6 over 5x minus 6. This would be your answer. Okay, another one. This time we have some skips, so we got to be careful with those. So 15x to the 4th plus 3x cubed. Since there is no x squared, I like to write 0x squared to keep my columns in order so I know what's what. There's no x term, so plus 0x plus 4. Okay, and then 5x plus 1. 5x times what gives you 15x to the 4th? Would be 3x to the 4th, or 3x to the 3rd, I'm sorry. Multiply it back. 15x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd. Hey, this is going to work out actually pretty nice. Subtract them. So we've got 0. Let's write 0x cubed plus 0x squared. I know this is a lot of zeros and it's going to be kind of stupid, but we're going to do it anyway so we don't mess up. 5x times what gives you 0x cubed? Be 0x squared. Multiply it back. I know these are all going to be zeros. I'm aware. Okay, just do it again. I know, it's fine. Don't complain. So we have 0 plus 4. How many times 0, or 5x times what gives you 0? And the answer is 0. So this last one is going to be 0 as well. Oops, sorry, I'm in the wrong color. So plus 0, 0, I forgot an x there, plus 0. So your remainder is 4. So that looks bad with all those 0 x's and stuff. So let's clean it up. We only have 3x cubed, that's it, plus good old 4 over 5x plus 1. All right, the really fun one. Now we have a skip in our divisor, which is a little bit more of a pain in the butt than it already is. I know the whole thing's a pain, but okay, so write all that stuff in. Let's see if I can do this without messing up. Ooh, they gave you a long problem. Okay, so we need to make sure you add your skip in your divisor. All right, so x squared times what gives you 3x to the 5th? That would be 3x to the 3rd. Multiply it back. 3x to the 5th plus 0x to the 4th. I know it's a 0, it's fine. Plus 3x to the 3rd. Okay, now let's subtract. So those fifths cancel. Then we have 4x to the 4th. And then remember we're subtracting, so this ends up being negative 4x cubed. Drop down your x squared. Okay, so now x squared times what gives you 4x to the 4th? That's going to be positive 4x squared. Multiply it back. 4x to the 4th plus 0x cubed plus 4x squared. Subtract. Negative 4x cubed. 4x squared minus 4 would be what? Just positive x squared. Drop down your 4x. Getting close to the end, keep going. So we have, what would that be? Negative 4x is the next one. So negative 4x cubed plus 0x squared minus 4x. All right, we are subtracting. So we have 0x squared, because that becomes, remember we're doing minus negative 4x, so that's 0x plus 1. X squared times what gives you x squared? That's positive 1. Multiply it back. Looky there, no remainder. So this right here is your answer. All right, now next thing. So synthetic division, way easier than long division. But there are times you just have to do long division. It is what it is. Okay, so let's do this one. This is where you take off all the x's and just put the coefficients. This one looks like it has no skips. That's nice. So 1, negative 12, 44, negative 45, negative 18. Then what number goes on the outside? Remember, you set that piece equal to 0. So it's actually going to be positive 6. All right, let's multiply it. Drop your 1, multiply, add them. You get negative 6. Multiply, negative 36. What is that? I believe 8. Multiply 48. Add them 3. Multiply 18. Hey, look, there's no remainder. That was nice. So then we end up with, I like to write it backwards. And then here we go. So this is what we end up with whenever we do synthetic division. So much faster than long division. Same thing, except this time I gave you some skips. So you do need to have those placeholders. So negative 1, negative 42, and then there's a 0 on the x to the first and the constant. And then what are you dividing by? Positive 7. So drop it and then multiply. 0. Okay, so we've got zeros for days now. All right, be careful. Remember, this is your remainder, your constant, your x squared, and your x cubed term. So this would be x cubed plus 6x squared. All right, using the conjugate root theorem to write a polynomial with rational coefficients that has these roots. So 4, 7, and 2i, which one is the missing one? Negative 2i. Okay, let's set it up. So for 4, it's going to be x minus 4, x minus 7, x minus 2i, and x plus 2i. Okay, now we need to multiply all this out. Multiply your i's first to get rid of those. So this would be x squared plus 2ix minus 2ix minus 4i squared. Okay, so now let's clean this up. This cancels. Negative 4i squared becomes positive 4. So this is x squared plus 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute this over here. So I have x squared minus 7x minus 4x plus 28. So I have x squared minus 11x plus 28. Okay, distribute again. So I've got x to the 4th plus 4x squared minus 11x cubed minus 44x plus 28x squared plus, what is 28? I think it's 112. Yep, 112. All right, clean it up. We're going to have f of x equals, looks like term. We only have one set of like terms, sweet. So x to the 4th plus 32, oh wait, I forgot the x cubed, minus 11x cubed plus 32x squared minus 44x plus 112. Okay, one more. This one's a little bit worse. Because that imaginary, that complex root is a binomial, so that we're going to have to multiply by the conjugate. So that would be 4 plus I. All right, so let's get this set up. So x minus 3. Then remember you have to do x minus, and then another set of parentheses, this, times x minus 4 plus I. All right, distribute your negatives. So you have x minus 4 plus I times x minus 4 minus I, and then just drop that down. All right, go ahead and distribute out your two terms with the i's in them. So I have x squared minus 4x minus ix minus 4x plus 16 plus 4I plus ix minus 4I minus I squared. Gross. Okay. Let's keep going. So we can take this and this. The ix's cancel. The 4 i's cancel. Negative I squared would be negative 1, so it would be positive 1. Let's clean it up. So this would be x squared minus 8x plus 17. Don't forget about that 1. All right, distribute one more time. So this would be x cubed minus 8x squared plus 17x minus 3x squared plus 24x. What is that? Negative 3, is it 54? I was close, 51, negative 51. Okay, put it all together, slapping a f of x out front. So we've got x cubed minus 11x squared plus 41x minus 51. Boom. Okay, last one. So this is when you solve these polynomials doing all of the things, and you're going to have to need to know them, how to do them all separately as well. So there are going to be some problems when you need to just do Descartes' rule of sign, just do the PRZs, and then do the whole thing. So I'm just going to do 2 doing the whole thing, but make sure you understand thoroughly how to do each part. Okay, so let's start with Descartes. Okay, so the positive is positive, positive, negative, negative. So one sign change. Your negative is going to be negative, positive, positive, negative. So 2 or 0. So that means your Descartes chart is going to be 1 positive, 2 negatives, or 1 positive and 2 imaginaries. Okay, so make sure you know how to do that, because that's going to be one of your answers. The next one that we know how to do is the PRZs. That's going to be plus or minus 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, and 20. Okay, so we should pick, we know there has to be a positive because of this column. So let's pick a positive to try. I honestly don't know. So 1, 4, negative 5, negative 20. Okay, I kind of cheated a little bit on this one. It ends up being a little gross on the positives. The positive is actually an irrational answer. So I'm going to give you a hint. Let's try negative 4. And even though I should pick a positive, there is going to be a negative in here. So it's going to be on this situation. So 1, negative 4, 0, 0, negative 5, 20. And so this is going to be 0. So I know I have one answer right there. And then this gives me this would be x squared minus 5 equals 0, right? Because we're going to set that equal to 0. So x squared equals 5, square root, so x equals plus or minus 5. So we have, plus or minus square root of 5. So we have technically plus or minus the square root of 5 is two answers. They're not imaginary. They are irrational, but they're not imaginary. So they would fall under this category right here. So there's one negative here, which makes 2. And then there's also a positive in there too, which makes that one. So final answer, -4 and plus or minus square root 5. All right, one last one. So we've got this one. First thing I noticed is there is a GCF in all of these so that I can take out, and it is x squared. So I need to do that. Okay, so now let's do Descartes. So, and remember, you are only doing Descartes on the factored part. Don't do the original problem because there's not going to be 4 imaginary, or there's not going to be 4 answers. There's only going to be 2 in the Descartes chart because Descartes does not account for these zeros. So we have positive, let's do the positives part. So positive is positive, positive, positive. There will be no positive answers in this. Great. Negative would be positive, negative, positive. So 2 or 0. Okay, so looks like 0, 2, and 0 or 0, 0, 2, right? Because we're only doing the green part. All right, so now, honestly, I did that Descartes just for, let's do the PRZs. Here, and after I do this, I'll show you why. So it's plus or minus 1, plus or minus 5. Here's the thing that I'm kind of rolling my eyes about. This right here is just an easily factored trinomial. What multiplies to be 5 adds to be 6. 5 and 1. So this would be, and you can even use the shortcut. So x squared times x plus 5 times x minus 1. Set each piece equal to 0. So we have -5, should be positive, -1, and then 0 with the multiplicity of 2. Now I know I kind of cheated and didn't do synthetic division like the last one, but that's fair game, but make sure it falls in line with Descartes. Does it? Yes, it's this one with 2 negatives. All right, that is it for Unit 3. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.